here
my
to
God.
give my probably unworthy analysis to Joel's Adelaide Crows. Should I just jump in? Are we just getting into it?
Yep.
All right, excellent. So what they achieved, I'll follow a bit of a similar structure throughout all of my previews. It's pretty much going to kick off with what they achieved in 2019. So Adelaide finished 11th.
Yeah.
Had a 10-12 record and a percentage of 100.09%. So basically flat out on 100.
They broke even.
Yeah. And looking back at those statistics, I was actually a bit like, for all the doom and gloom,
That's surprising.
they weren't terrible. Like, that's not a terrible record. It's not terrible statistics. But if you take it back even further to the 2019 preseason, this time last year, people were tipping them to finish top 4, grand final. It built way too much hype around their fan base. Joel will vouch for this.
I think I had them finishing.
Yeah, I bought into the hype.
I believe I had them somewhere around 7th in last year's preview. So, but yeah, so it really set the bar too high, and it was unrealistic from the get-go for a club that was never going to achieve that, even though it did look like they might have a chance at that.
Yeah.
This off-season, they've lost. It's just a mass exodus.
Yeah. I'm looking at that list of names.
It's crazy. You've got Hugh Greenwood, Josh Jenkins, Eddie Betts, Richard Douglas, Cam Ellis-Yeoman, Sam Jacobs, and Alex Keith were all key players at some point last year, except maybe Douglas. I don't know how many games.
Well,
Douglas
they're all say best 26 players.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And they've only gained Billy Frampton, Lockie Murphy's a promoted rookie. They bring in Fisher McKaysey. I think that's how you say it. McKaysey, I don't know.
I've heard Mackesy as well, so...
Mackesy, all right, that's a different one.
Right, yeah, I haven't heard that one.
And then Harry Schoenberg and Josh Worrell also come in through the draft. That is a huge exodus as they look to rebrand. They got a new coach in Matthew Nix. So they're sort of going for that new year, new us vibe, the Adelaide Crows. I'm interested to see how Fisher, Mackesy, whatever his name is, does. Because I think he's more of a project, and there were pieces on the table at the draft at that point where it could have been a more instant impact player. So clearly the Crows are in this for the long haul. I think they've taken the long road rather than the easy, quick route.
I don't think anything they do is going to be quick.
Exactly, and I think they've embraced that.
Yeah.
So that makes me...
In saying that, they're probably one of the only clubs that have never actually bottomed out. So
very true. There always some kind of... I mean, last year was a prime example where everyone thought they had a terrible year and they still put 10 wins on the board.
Yeah.
So I think that if you get the Crows in that sort of mindset, the expectations are now flipped on what they were this time last year, where they're super low now. One player I am excited for, though, and Joel, I'm guessing you're very excited for this player as well, is Darcy Fogarty.
Oh yeah,
on our footy rival shows.
Yeah, because he wasn't playing.
Because he wasn't playing, and that was absolutely ludicrous. And then when they gave him a chance, he kicked 5 goals when they gave him his first actual chance. I'm keen to see him because he's clearly going to get more game time now with Josh Jenkins gone.
I think he's coming off of injury at the moment, though. Isn't he?
Okay. Last I read about him, Tex Walker was excited to say, "Hey, I've got a new partner in the forward line." Or whatever, and he was giving
I think he's had a
general spin.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Joel. He's had an interrupted preseason, yeah.
Not that I've heard, but then again,
maybe that just came into my head somewhere.
I haven't heard anything, but then again, after the year that was, I was kind of just like, you know what, I'm just not pay attention for a while.
I'm excited for Darcy Fogarty. In terms of a pass mark, no one expects them to play finals. I don't think anyone's
not expects them to. If they were to play finals, that would be above expectations.
Yeah, I would be mildly to half surprised. But no one really has that much expectation on them. I don't think they're going to rise up the ladder. They're probably more likely to fall, the Crows, than they are to rise. Given that they just seem to there's so many areas in their game where I just look at and I go, that's not ready to do anything big. Like the midfield to me is probably their strongest point, and it's not an overly huge, strong midfield. Like the Crouch brothers and Rory Sloane doesn't scream a bunch of wins to me.
Yeah.
So I just think the ladder position, I think I've got them finishing between 12th and 16th. I'll say 15th for for the sake of this exercise. So how do you feel about that, Joel? I just don't think there's... I mean, you could say that they're probably in a bracket of about 10 teams that could be competitive or could suck.
Well,
And I'm just going to put them at 15th for now.
how about we go, Joel? Let's have your thoughts on Adelaide for 2020, and then give us where you think they'll finish on the ladder at the end of the year.
I think Justin's assessment is right. I way more just like, look, just play the kids. I don't think we have an option not to, and it would be catastrophically stupid. Well, to not play, well, not play them. I still think we could have decent moments, but I still think 15th, maybe a bit low. I was more gunning 13th or 12th, but high-ish pick in the draft, but still, like, there will be a noticeable drop-off, but that's what happens when you blood young players.
I think it's
But that being said,
it's that sort of attitude that makes me think 15th is sort of appropriate, because a thing that I tend to do at this time of year, if you can't gauge where a team's going to be, or if it's in a bracket of a bunch of teams and you just don't know where they're going to be, is sort of gauge how fan reaction is among their own fan base. So Joel's immediate take to say play the kids is exactly what I, as a Freo fan, have been pushing for like 5 years now.
Yeah.
So I see them in a similar spot to where Freo was a couple years ago, or maybe even where Freo is now. Who knows? So yeah, I'd say about 15. That's where I'm going to go. What are your thoughts on that?
I was going to say, like, I think, well, at least on Freo, and might be getting ahead of myself, at least Freo have the benefit of Nat Fife, who can, as he's been doing in the past couple of years, carrying the team on his back. So, the youth can also complement him a bit. While the Crows is much, like, I'm quite excited about Mackesy because heir apparent to Daniel Talia. Talia is still, I think, a good shutdown defender. But, we get Duday back. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, that's a big
which helps. And you know what?
Well, that helps cover the loss of Keith.
Yeah, essentially. And then you put Mackesy on top of that, and it starts looking... I guess Mackesy you can't expect anything from, particularly being in his first year as a key position player. But there's at least some promise there mixed in with some already seasoned guys who should be able to perform. I actually think Daniel Talia to win the club's best and fairest is probably a pretty good bet. Just as a solid performer week in, week out.
Oh, no. Like, I think he's quietly one of the more underrated defenders of the past
100%.
10 or so years.
In terms of a shutdown defender, he's the best in the competition.
And I know people love to would say rants, and I'm like, I don't disagree with you, but I still think I think Talia's up there.
Yeah, you're sort of talking apples and oranges in terms of what they do, but yeah, I think Ryan's probably right where you said that Talia, best in the competition, is a lockdown, shutdown defender.
Yeah, if you just want a forward to not touch the ball and not kick goals, Talia is your man.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyways, I think that's all I got on the Crows.
Well, I enjoy both of your optimisms.
I had him at 15th, and I'm optimistic.
You are, yeah.
This is going to be a good take.
With regards to Adelaide, because I have a feeling that this year is going to be the year they bottom out, and I have them. So in my ladder predictions, I have two different ladder predictions, right? I have I went through and did a ladder based on where I feel that each team will end up at the end of the year, which is just based on nothing but my own personal opinion. And then I went and did a ladder predictor on the Squiggle website, and I went through and did match by match, point by point. So I've got percentages and everything as well. I didn't write them down, but I just wanted to get the ladder positions.
I'm laughing because I've just looked at your notes and I've noticed where you've got Adelaide in both ladders.
Adelaide have ended up in the same position on both of my ladders, and that's dead last. However, in my Squiggle prediction ladder, I did have them winning 5 games.
Okay,
so 5 games
not bad.
as last is a good.
That's
a good last.
I mean,
that's not a bottom out like Carlton and Gold Coast bottom out.
Yeah,
that's
the Suns won 3 games last year and they had them in 4 games. So if Adelaide can spread 5 wins out and still be competitive across both, what's the over under on Tex Walker being dropped in round? Like, what round do you expect him? What's the over under there? Round 8?
Honestly, it depends.
Like if he's performing badly, round 8 is when they pull the trigger, or do they let it go longer?
No.
Or shorter?
If he's performing badly and they have and Fogarty is going fine, he'll be and he performs badly from the very start and doesn't improve, he'll be dropped by round 3.
Round 3?
Yeah.
Well, that's quick. Who's the depth at that position, Joel?
He should be dropped at round 3.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Tall forward. That's a good. Well, I think that's Himmelberg. He's okay.
Oh yeah, Himmelberg was good last year. He was alright.
I think honestly, like it will be a lot of players that have been rookie listed players who like if they're going to drop text, it's going to be like, okay, they look decent, so let's give them a go. And if Crows are going to finish dead last, I've already started looking at what the top prospects in the draft are going to be.
In like the world's most compromised draft.
Yeah.
Bring
back
an academy heavy draft this year,
hugely, and one of the top prospects, I think his name's I can't even remember it. But he just copped an ACL injury, so it's not a great year to have the number 1 pick.
Right.
But one thing that does interest me is if Matthew Nix is wanting to be ballsy and Tex Walker's not performing up to scratch. Imagine if you didn't even replace him with a key forward and they just ran Lynch and Fogarty.
Honestly, that's probably not a bad.
I don't hate that.
It's not a bad way to go if you want to restructure your forward line around mediums as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which to be fair, is kind of where the competition is going. It's more of a medium forward game now that it, than it is a big forward game.
Yeah, absolutely, I agree.